time in centuries upon centuries of parliamentary democracy, for the very first time, a sitting government was actually found to be in contempt of Parliament. That's what the last election was on. It wasn't on, the economy. It wasn't on, who you like better. I mean, it was triggered because the Speaker found that the Government of Canada was in contempt of the Parliament that gives it its authority to govern. What did Canadians say? Well, first of all, what did the Conservatives say? They said, contempt, well, of course they don't like us, they're the opposition. They vote against us. It's just a, he said, she said tactic. Okay. There have been a lot of minority governments around the world, and in Canada, and never before has an opposition that was in the majority found the government to be in contempt. But contempt, hey, Canadians have so much contempt for politicians anyway, why would it make any difference? The Conservatives are contemptuous, okay, sure, fine. So are the Liberals. So is the Bloc, so is the NDP. Let's just pick the least worst of them and, for God's sake, give someone a majority so they don't hassle us with elections every 18 months. That's what happened in the last election. And right now we have a government that uses its majority to pass terrible pieces of legislation, but well, they pass them, whether it's building more, actually it's not even building more prisons because people are reacting badly to that. It's putting more people in prison, but not building prisons, which means the provinces are going to be stuck with the bill. It's not increasing healthcare funding at a time when we know healthcare funding is going to be more and more expensive and the larger part of the provincial budgets continually. It's, wasting $10 billion more on jets than they're willing to tell us about. And all this outrage we have around the F-35s that we're going through now, that's actually a big piece of what the contempt ruling was on. So as we're shocked and appalled about that, I mean, these are all things that, yes, the government gets to pass because they have the votes for it. And, in a parliamentary system, hey, you get what you vote for, and that's all across the board. It means those of us who are going to be cleaning up the mess a few years from now will have a big mess to clean up. But I'm not really complaining that, the government has the capacity to pass its bills. What the problem is they're not just using their majority to pass bills. They're using their majority to quash debate, to stifle voices of dissent, whether it be from the opposition, whether it be from independent officers of Parliament, whether it be from whistleblowers, whether it be from community leaders and NGOs that speak out against them by calling environmental groups terrorists. They are using everything at their disposal to quash voices of opposition. And that, unfortunate moment where someone in the Liberal Party, I can't remember quite who, leapt to his feet to call the Environment Minister a piece of shit. Impetuous youngster apologized to the House for having used that language. He didn't apologize to the minister because he was actually complimenting the minister by calling him something that's fundamentally compostable and biodegradable. But anyway, the reason that all happened was because for the first time ever, the government chose to not include opposition delegates in their accreditation to an international environmental conference. Because they didn't want anyone there to know that Canada didn't speak with one voice. When I was in high school,